volume of cylinders, 7.5. Volume of cylinders. Volume of cylinders, in order to find the volume, you need to find the area of the base. In the cylinder, the base is a circle, and then multiply that times the height. So this is the generic formula for volume of any single shape that you ever want to find. It changes and it differs depending on what the base is. So in this case, the base is a cylinder, or a circle, because the shape is a cylinder. So let's use this formula to find the volume of some of these figures. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to find the volume of this figure. Volume is going to equal pi r squared times the height. We know that radius is halfway across, so volume equals pi times 3 squared times 6. Volume equals pi times, all I'm doing is plugging in values. If you can get that far and type the rest into your calculator, you've got it made. So when I get to this point, I'm just going to take pi times 9 times 6. And I'm going to get the answer of 169.56 inches cubed, because it's volume. Some of you might be saying, hey, Miss Benner, that's not what I got. Well, if you got a different answer, it's likely due to the fact that you used the pi key instead of 3.14. And if you did that, you got 169.64, or rounded it up to 6.5. Either one of those answers is acceptable. It's the difference between using 3.14 for pi on your calculator or actually using the pi button. If you use the pi button, you're going to have a number that's just a little bit larger. The bigger this number gets, the bigger your difference is going to be. So it might be 3 points off, 4 points off, just depending. Okay, we're going to do a few examples here. This is actually going to be a pretty short video because I have a feeling you'll be able to catch on pretty quick. Like I stated with the volume of a triangular prism, you just need to keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. Write the equation down every single time. Volume of a cylinder is pi r squared, for the area of the circle on the bottom, times the height. Pi times radius, here's where you got to be careful. This is diameter that goes all the way across. So the radius would be halfway, it'd be a 6 squared, times the height of 2. So this then would equal pi times 36 times 2. And you can type it into your calculator that way. Sometimes I like to type fewer things in my calculator, and I'm just going to solve this out a little bit more. So say pi times 72. And once I get that, I'll get 226.08 centimeters is the measurement, cubed because it's volume. Just like the last problem, you might get something mildly different if you use the pi key instead of 3.14, and that is fine as long as it's pretty darn close. Oh, evidently that's how short it was. I only had 2 examples for it. Just make sure that you use that pi r squared for everything. Use that pi r squared. We'll solve this one just for one last problem. Sorry for going back and forth there. So ignore the drawing off to the side. Let's just look here. Volume equals pi r squared. That's how I find the area of a circle, which is the base of the cylinder, then times the height. The radius is 3, which we can even label. That would be helpful too. And the height is 12. Volume equals pi times the radius, which we determined was 3 squared, times the height of 12. Volume equals pi times 9 times 12. Volume equals pi times, what is that? Is 339.12. And again, if you use the pi key, you're going to have something a little bit different. The pi key gave me 339.29. So again, look at that, really close. Just a little bit different, but that's okay. I know this is a super short lesson. Hopefully it gave you what you needed to know to be able to find the volume better. I do encourage you though, please rewrite the equation next to every single problem that you're solving. It'll ensure more success. And if you have a question, help me be able to say, this is where you went wrong. You used the wrong formula. You put the wrong variable, something along that lines. Please write it down and follow it through all the way. Show your work. We did have some volumes of rectangular prisms or cubes or something to that extent. So I am going to show one of those really quick just in case you were struggling with that a little bit. But most of you have done this in previous years, so this is nothing new. But let's say I have this rectangular prism. With this rectangular prism, I know it looks like a square. We're going to call it a rectangle. I have to find the volume the same way. It's area of the base times the height. Area of the base, capital B, times the height. So let's say I'm going to give this a value of 7, this one a value of 8, and this a value of 6. Area of the base. Well, the base to this is a rectangle. So to find the base, I have to go 7 times 8. Oops, this should say height, my mistake. And then I have to take it times the height of the entire figure, which is 6. Most of you, if you remember, came in and told me, well, it's length times width times height. 7 times 8 would be 56. 56 times 6, 336. But let me double check because it is late in the afternoon and my brain does not always operate accurately. Yes, 336. And whatever it might be, units cubed. All right, length times width times height. 1, 2, 3. All right, thank you very much and have a great day.